On June 28, 1919, at the end of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles was signed at the Palace of Versailles in France. However, the fighting had ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice was reached between the Allied nations and Germany on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For this reason, November 11, 1918 is generally regarded as the end of the Great War.
In November 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. Its original concept was a day to observe with parades and public meetings. It was made a legal holiday on May 13, 1938, in which it was defined as a day set aside to honor veterans of World War I.
But in 1954, after World War II had required the greatest mobilization of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen in the nation's history, the 83rd Congress struck out the word armistice and inserted in its place the word veterans to honor not only the veterans that served and ended World War I, but all conflicts involving American forces.
With a rich history and sense of pride, in January of 2015, the 32 fallen veterans of Edina who died in the time of war were individually remembered at the new Veterans Memorial in Edina Utley Park. The memorial, carved from stone and topped with a bronze eagle, was erected by the Veterans Memorial Committee in the city of Edina to remember those who fought for our city and country and who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty.
How does having monuments like the one in Edina make you feel?
Well, I think you have to recognize the military in your community, because there's so many things that happen when you're during the war. So many people, like you in the high school, the grade schools, the mothers and fathers who were in the community, they helped as much as the people that were off to the service in the war. So you really...
Why do you think people don't honor certain veterans as much as they do others?
Well, I think it's like any athletic event. When you lose, which they weren't losers in the Vietnam War, but in all essence, they felt they were, I think, and that's because we had to leave that country. And I think that some people hold that against you, and I guess they really shouldn't, because they fought that war for 10 years, and I think that's something they should be remembered for. And
do you think it is important to honor forgotten soldiers?
Oh yes, I think there are. I think so, because some of them done a tremendous amount of in the military. A lot of soldiers did a lot of things, but they were never honored. That was just part of their job. When you think about, but being honored, I think it's important that somebody at least recognized them. Otherwise, they just were an ordinary individual citizen that went over there. They fought in the war and came back home and went back to work.
Do you think a veteran would make for a good employee? Why or why not?
I think they would, because there's a lot of skills that veterans learn, like how to think on their feet, especially in situations where they're under a lot of pressure. They also have to learn how to work with people they might not always get along with on a personal level, which is a very good skill to have.
Do you think universal peace is possible? Why or why not?
I really don't know. I'd like there to be, but the way humans are, I don't know if it's possible or not. But I'd sure like to try. I'd like to see it happen.
What does it mean to support your country outside of typical military service?
Outside of typical military service, it's important to support your country and your own community, because without a local community, there really is no purpose for the U.S. military. The U.S. military is designed to protect the community, its country, and all of you guys. It's also important for us to maintain that community life as well, so that what it is that we're fighting for, we know what it is that we're doing. We're just as connected with the community as you guys are.
Today, we honor the brave men and women who have selflessly served our country and risked their lives to protect our freedom. This day acts as a small reminder that it is never too late to give our veterans what they so righteously have earned: a hero's welcome home. Courage, dedication, loyalty. These three characteristics are only a small part of what defines an American veteran. What do you think it means to be courageous, dedicated, or loyal? How can a veteran's story impact your own? How can you show appreciation for their sacrifice?